Hello everyone, a very warm welcome again to the virtual session of Science Children. So let us continue with the chapter which we were doing in the previous session, that is transportation in animals and plants, part 3, chapter 11. What are we going to do? In this session we are going to see about the pumping of the heart, how the heart work, and the different aspect of the heart we are going to see. As we have learned about the blood, we have seen the different components of the blood, we have seen about the arteries and the veins, we have learned how they work, what are their main function, we have seen in the previous session. So let us see some important aspects, important terms required to learn about the heart. Let us see. So you need to write these definitions in your notebook, children. What is pulse? Since we are learning about the heart and the blood, the flow of blood, we are learning, this is extremely important concept to understand. The flow of blood will give rise to many other important aspects. First aspect is the pulse. We know that the heart pumps the blood in the arteries. This continuous pumping of blood in the arteries results in the rhythmic throbbing, which is called pulse. So pulse, you can check on in your wrist. You get one of the veins. You get a throbbing feeling when you just keep a finger on it. So that throbbing is the pulse. So it is the pumping of the heart in the pumping of the blood in the heart due to arteries. This continuous pumping of blood in the arteries result in their rhythmic throbbing, which is called pulse. Take this down, children. Then what is pulse rate? So when we are talking about the pulse rate, we are talking about the speed at which the pulse is going to happen in the body. So that is the rate of the pulse we are going to see. Pulse rate is defined as the number of pulse beats per minute. So the beating of the pulse is actually the pulse rate. How many beat you get per minute? How many beats you get per minute, that is the pulse rate. So it is defined as the number of pulse beats per minute. The normal pulse rate of human beings is 70 to 80 beats per minute. And some variation, very high or very low, there's some problem in the pumping of the blood, and there's some problem with the heart, and then you have to go for ECG and all that other health issue arises because of the pumping of the blood is not happening properly in the heart. But this is a normal range where you have 70 to 80 beats per minute. I hope you have understood this concept. Please take this down in your notebook. Here you can check the pulse rate. See, you taking a pulse. Here you can check. These are the various points. You can see in the image over here. Even you yourself can check your pulse rate. And normally pulse rate per minute should be 70 to 80 beats. These are the points shown over here where you can check your pulse rate, children. Then let us see some important concepts related to the heart. These are the important concepts you need to understand. Pulmonary artery. What is pulmonary artery? We are talking about some special blood vessels. So these are the special blood vessels which is important. They are important for the transportation of bloods to the various parts of the body, and from various parts of the body to the heart, because we need to maintain a proper. Impure blood has to be made pure when it reaches to the heart. So that process, the circulation of blood in the body should be done properly. So let us see the functions performed by the pulmonary artery. Pulmonary artery is a special blood vessels that connects the heart to the lungs. So you should know that all the organs are all interconnected and they have some of the other functions to perform. They're interdependent. So let us see. Blood vessels connects. This is the blood vessel that connects the heart to the lungs. So heart is connected to the lungs with the help of pulmonary artery. It takes blood that contains less oxygen, that is deoxygenated blood. Less oxygen means little amount of oxygen, and that is also called as deoxygenated blood. It is taken from the heart to the lungs. Hence, it is unlike all other arteries that carry oxygen rich blood. As you know, arteries carries oxygen rich blood, that is oxygenated blood, to various part of the body from the heart. But one special artery, that is pulmonary artery, has different functions to perform, where it takes the deoxygenated blood from the heart to the lungs. And what are pulmonary veins? Pulmonary vein is again a special blood vessels that connects the lungs and the heart. So what does it do? It carries oxygen rich blood from the lungs to the heart. Hence, it is unlike all the other veins that carry oxygen less blood. So over here, the functions reverse over here. Pulmonary veins, they have a different function than the ordinary veins. Where the ordinary veins, what they do, they take up all the deoxygenated, that is carbon dioxide rich blood, from various parts of the body to the heart. But over here, it is doing a reverse function. It connects the lungs and the heart, and it carries oxygen rich blood from the lungs to the heart. So pulmonary artery and pulmonary veins, they are special blood vessels, and their function is different. So here you can make a note of this, and hence it is unlike all the other veins which carries oxygen less blood, that is deoxygenated blood. Please take this down, it's extremely important. You should know their functions, which is extremely important to learn, and you need to know about the other normal arteries and the normal veins, the regular arteries and the regular veins you need to learn. These are the special blood vessels. We need to learn this in comparison with the regular ones. So now over here, capillaries. Small blood vessels are called capillaries. Fine capillaries, fine blood vessels. You can see if in your under your skin you can make out some fine blood vessels. They are called capillaries. The arteries divide themselves into capillaries. So they are divided into fine blood vessels. These very fine blood vessels are called capillaries. That means you see a stem of a plant, and you can see the branching of the stem, and further branching will lead to for the formation of the stems in a very fine branch, where the stems are very fine as it goes on branching. So when a thick stem branch and then again branch out and again branch out, the stems become finer and finer. This kind concept can be applied to understand the concept of capillaries. These are the fine blood vessels of the arteries, which divides themselves and which then deliver oxygenated blood, which is rich in oxygen, to the tissue in the body. These capillaries take up the deoxygenated blood from the tissues to the veins. What happened first? The arteries divide themselves into capillaries, which then deliver oxygenated blood to the tissues in the body. And then these capillaries take up the deoxygenated blood from the tissues to the veins. So please understand the important function of the capillaries. It has to perform dual function. Dual means both the functions at a time. So where it is delivering oxygenated blood to the tissue and then deoxygenated blood from the tissue to the veins. I hope this is very clear with you, children. Then here you can see how blood circulates. You can just draw a rough diagram in your notebook to understand the circulation of blood. Please draw this diagram in your notebook, children, for you to understand the circulation of blood in your body. You can see lungs, and you can see pulmonary veins and pulmonary arteries. You can see how it is connected to the heart, and you can see the normal artery, and you can see the normal vein. So you can make the difference over here. Pulmonary artery, on that side you have veins, and on pulmonary veins you have, on that side you have artery. So because the function is reverse, over here you can see the arrow where, and then they are branching it out to form fine blood vessels. They are called as capillaries. Just need to understand uh, how these organs are connected so that the blood circulates properly in the body. As you have learned, the oxygenated blood taken from the arteries to various parts of the body, and you see in veins they take deoxygenated blood from the various parts of the body to the heart. So you can see the arrows. Artery showing arrow downward means oxygen rich blood is going in various parts of the body, whereas in veins you can see the arrow upwards, that means all that deoxygenated blood, that means impure blood, is taken to the heart by the veins. And pulmonary artery have a reverse function, and pulmonary veins have a reverse function, which we have discussed just now. So please take this down, children. You have to draw this diagram, rough diagram, in your notebook. Show the arrows so that the arrows becomes clear with you where the flow of blood is taking place there. These arrows indicates the flow of blood. Heart. Let us see, this is an important organ. It's a powerhouse of the body. It perform various important function. It's a vital organ, very important organ of the body. So the heart is an organ present in a body that pumps the blood in the blood vessels, as you all know. So it's an important organ which pumps the blood in the blood vessels so that it can go to the various parts of the body. And where it is located? It is located in the chest cavity. Its lower part is a little tilted towards the left. As you see, the location of the heart on the left hand side, and how it is placed a little tilted towards the left. Heart is divided into four chambers, with which prevents the oxygen rich blood from mixing with carbon dioxide rich blood. So here the four chambers is necessary because it has to have a compartment between pure and impure blood. What is pure blood? Oxygen rich blood. And what is impure blood? Carbon dioxide rich blood. Because we need oxygen for the survival, for the various cellular activities, and we don't need carbon dioxide. Carbon dioxide is given out due to respiration, which has to be eliminated from the body. Therefore, blood which is rich in carbon dioxide is an impure blood. Now, atria or upper chambers contain the blood with no oxygen. So now let us see, have you taken down? I hope you are writing all this, all important points to be taken down in the notebook. Now let's see ventricles. The ventricles or the lower chamber of the heart contains oxygen rich blood. So the ventricles, that is the lower chamber of the heart, it has four chambers. Lower chamber is oxygen rich blood. The atria and ventricle both are individually divided within themselves in two chambers with the help of valves. So we will see in the diagram how the atria and ventricles are individually divided, and it has two chambers. With the help of valves, it has to be divided into two chambers to separate the pure and the impure blood, children. Now from the left ventricle, the biggest artery of our body called aorta begins. This is the biggest artery of our body, and that is called as aorta. And this is all we are describing about the structure of the heart and the various parts of the heart and their functions. So these are extremely important points. Let us discuss these points, and we will see the image, and we will see how the blood flows, how the heart functions. The right atrium of the body receives deoxygenated blood from the body. That means the right atrium of the body receives deoxygenated blood from the body through a vein called vena cava. Vena cava is the largest vein of our body. So aorta is the biggest artery of our body, and vena cava is the largest vein of our body. Please underline the aorta and the vena cava, so that vena cava, you need to understand, is the largest vein of our body. So that when you are learning it, you need to understand these are the important concepts you need to understand and keep it in your mind. So I hope you are writing all this. Let us see the diagram of the heart. You need not draw the diagram. Just see the various parts which we have discussed. When you take down this diagram in when you take down all the points which we have discussed about the heart, you can compare with this. You can see all these parts present in the heart and how they work. Here which we have all discussed, all the parts, various parts of the heart. Here we have pulmonary artery, pulmonary veins, four chambered heart. You can see it has valve, and it has aorta valve, it has tricapsid valve. It's like valve is actually like a key. It has it regulate opening and closing of the blood vessels. So over here you can see the various parts of the heart. Here you can see aorta, which is the biggest artery which we have learned. Just now we have discussed. And you have a right atrium, then you have a left atrium, and you have a right ventricle, and you have a left ventricle. So right ventricle, left ventricle, right atrium, left atrium. This divides the heart into four chambers. That's why we call heart is four chambered, because of this division. And you can see the labeling, and you can see the vena cava. Vena cava is the largest or the biggest veins you can see over here. So what all we have discussed just now, the various concepts related to heart, you can see over here in the diagram of the heart. How the blood flow through the heart. Here you can see the flow chart. How the blood flows, you can see through the flow chart. You have to draw this flow chart in your notebook, children. So please draw this flow chart in your notebook. Here you can see body tissue, where you have a systemic circulation. Then you can see superior and inferior vena cava, how the blood flows. You can see with the arrow. You can draw this chart where it is showing the circulation of blood. It is not open-ended flow chart, it is a close-ended flow chart where the circulation of the blood takes place and blood flow through the heart in this manner. So here you have superior and inferior vena cava, then it goes to right atrium, tricapsid valve present there to regulate the blood flow. Then you have right ventricle, then blood flows to the pulmonary, your semilunar walls you have, then you have pulmonary trunk, then you have pulmonary arteries, then you have long tissues where pulmonary circulation takes place, then you have pulmonary veins, then this is a flow of the blood in this manner. So the circulation goes in this manner. You just need to understand that, children. Then from pulmonary veins goes to the left atrium. Then you have a bicapsid valve to regulate the flow of blood. Then you have left ventricle, that is one of the chamber of the heart. Then it goes to the aortic semilunar walls. That means this aortic semilunar walls again regulate the flow of the blood, which goes to the aorta. So here you can see it's a closed flow chart where it shows the blood flows through heart. I hope you all are drawing this diagram so that you can compare with the diagram of the heart and clear your concept about the flow of blood through the heart, because it has so many various parts, and you need to know the flow of blood through heart. Thank you, children. I hope you will have taken down all the important concepts and just draw that close flow chart which show you the blood flow through heart. Thank you, children, and have a wonderful day.